بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين واللعنة الدائمة الأبدية على أعدائهم أجمعين إلى قيام يوم الدين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Inshallah, we are going to continue the rules of Hajj, Manasik al-Hajj, according to the fatwa of Ayatollah al-Uzma, Sayyid Ali Sistani Damakullo. If you are not following Sayyid Ali Sistani, kindly double check with the book of the Manasik or rules of Hajj of your marja so that you are aware about your responsibility. If you're not following Sayyid Sistani Damakullo, and most of the rulings are same. There are a few areas of variances. So basically, we had done, we were doing an introduction to the rule, and we were talking about the obligation of Hajj. So we explained the meaning of tajarri and what is jur'ah. Jur'ah is you dare to do something where there is a precautionary measure. But if you find out that you have to do that religiously or intellectually, you have to do, then in that case, if you go against, you are a sinner. So there's a difference between a sinner and somebody who dares to do. Mutajarri, okay? So daring person, because he might get into trouble, he might not get into trouble. So as daring himself, he is challenging, he is taking that risk of going into wrong direction. And that is indecent intellectually. So if you have a route where you know that there might be flood on the road and you might sink, and there is a clean road, but it's a bit longer. So intellect tells you to leave this road where there is flood, okay? Because if you will know the flood might have dried, there might not be flood on there might not be any flood on that road. So, but there is a probability. So you take that chance and go there, you see. And once you arrive there and you hit the brake, your brake is not being hit, and you slip and go into the flood, and you are swooshed with the flow of the water coming from the riverside. So anyhow, that's called tajarri. You dared to do that. You took a risk, and now you are into a serious. And you might not be into that. So you might not be, and you might be, but you are taking the risk of putting yourself into a serious problem. That is tajarri. And sinner, no, you know there is flood, 100%. You are sure, and you are going there. So you are going to be sinked in that flood water. So that is the difference between a sin and tajarri. So we take ruling number 2. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. إذا وجب الخروج إلى الحج. Now, so we were discussing that Hajj becomes wajib. Instantaneousness is intellectual wajib, according to Sayyid Sistani Damakullo. And because there are religious indications, so precautionary, obligatory precaution is a religious direction. However, there is a wajib, be it religious, be it intellectual. So you have to go, okay? Now, if you don't go this year, then this wajib will not go away from you. So, إذا وجب الخروج إلى الحج. If Hajj becomes obligatory, وجب تحصيل مقدماته وتهيئة وسائله. So in ilm al-usul, as you know, when we study the intellectual evidences, so there's a relation of causality, cause and effect, cause and effect. So let me remind you, those who studied ilm al-usul, about the intellectual evidences, and I'll draw you the structure of the intellectual evidences here, so you may know what I'm talking about if you have studied ilm al-usul. And as I said, we are going to give you Hausa indications. This is a Hausa course, and those who are willing to just know simple basic manasik al-Hajj, they can refer to the lectures, short lectures given on our YouTube channel. So we have, this is the wujub, the obligation. Okay. So there are prerequisites before obligation. We call it muqaddimat, muqaddima, pre something. And there is prerequisite after the wujub. Muqaddimat or muqaddima. So, and then there is this obligatory act, wajib. Wajib is the act itself. So now we have wujub and wajib. So there are things you do before the obligation falls on you, and there are things you do after the obligation falls upon you. That means, remember the wajib obligation is a legislation on every Muslim. Legislation. It becomes activated becomes fi'li. So this is ja'al, this is activation is fi'l. So when does it become activated? When these are available. Okay. So when these are available, so these are the cause for this effect. And once this becomes activated, then this becomes a cause as well. And this becomes effect. So cause, effect, cause, effect. Again, let me explain it properly. So we have two types of prerequisites. To understand this ruling, we have to understand these two types of prerequisites. Some prerequisites are affected by wajib, some are not affected by wajib. Why? They are the cause before the wajib. This is our wajib. This is our wujub, obligation. They are the cause of it. Now remember, there's a theory which says an effect can never be the cause of its cause. An effect can never be the cause of its cause. An effect can never be the cause of its cause. For example, a son is an effect. Father is a cause. Son can never be the father of his father in the same time, same realm, same situation, same. No, impossible. Literally, not metaphorically. Don't say Fatima Ummu Abiha Salamullah alayha. Fatima, the mother of her father. No, that's metaphorically due to certain qualities that metaphor has been used. But normally, a daughter can never be the mother or the father of her father or mother. Never. She can never be the cause of her cause. She can never go backwards. So this effect can never affect its cause. An effect can never be the cause of its cause. This, you see, this effect can never. What does that mean? This wujub can never make these wajib. And what are these? These are the ability, istita'a, ability. Okay? Ability, istita'a. So if you are able, this is muqaddimah, then the obligation becomes activated. So what is the cause? The cause is the ability. It affects on the obligation. The legislation becomes activated. So that means, that's why you say you don't have to work to earn money to go for Hajj, to make the Hajj wajib upon you. Why? Because the Sharia said, if you are able to go, cause, if has cause in it, then effect comes in, then Hajj becomes wajib. So the language of the Sharia, the language of the Quran, the language of the Hadith, they tell us what is cause and what is effect. And see how much intellect is used in understanding the Islamic laws. Theory of causality is used here. Again, Sharia told me in summary, if you are able to go for Hajj, then, so this is cause, if you are able to, then it is wajib upon you to go for Hajj. That is, after then is effect. Cause and effect, cause and effect. So if you are able to, ability is there, then Hajj becomes, the obligation falls and it becomes wajib. If you're not able to, no. So can this wajib affect on above and make me work harder and earn more and more? Does obligation of Hajj make me earn more? No. Your earning more is a cause for obligation of Hajj. So you don't have to earn more. If you earn more, if you got money, then Hajj becomes wajib. Okay? Again, let me just explain this here with our diagram. It's by bit tawizi. It looks like tawiz. If somebody's facing jinn problem, just show him this writing, that this jinn will freak and run away. Okay, so here's the thing. So again, you have to keep your hand like this. First is ability. That's a prerequisite. That's the cause where the, let me show you my hands properly. So if we put this kind of sequence, you see this hand and this hand, okay? And my glasses consider the obligation, okay? So this, my glasses is wujub. So there's something before the wujub, something after the wujub. A prerequisite before the wujub, ability. Prerequisite after the wujub, which is prerequisite of the wajib of Hajj. So down there is Hajj. Consider my beard Hajj, okay? Now look at me. This is earning, this is obligation, this is getting a ticket for Mecca, and this is the Hajj itself. So we have this chain, 5 things in the chain. So remember this one and this one we are talking about now. The ability and buying a ticket. So which one is wajib? Is ability, is being able. You have to become able to go for Hajj. You have to earn more money. You have to take overtime. No. Why? Because this is the cause of obligation. You see? So effect can never be the cause of its cause. Logically, it's absurd. Cause comes before or same time. So therefore, a cause, effect. So ability is before wajib, before wujub. So you don't have to earn. But if you become able to, then the Hajj becomes activated. And then once the Hajj becomes activated, you have to be in Makkah, perform the Hajj. So you have to do something. You have to buy a ticket. You have to take necessary causes to be in Makkah. This is the effect of obligation. This is the effect of obligation, okay? Because wajib, so wajib is the cause of being in Makkah, and since it's a cause of being in Makkah, you have to buy a ticket. It's wajib upon. Did Rasulullah say that, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, purchase airline ticket and this and that? No. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if you're able to, then go for Hajj, then be here. So you be here. So you have to get this. but you don't have to earn because it's before wajib. But you have to buy the ticket because it's after the wujub. So before the wujub, you don't have to do anything. After the wujub, you have to take. So this is what is mentioned in this ruling. We come back to our diagram and we go back to the ruling. So basically, remember this was my glasses, wujub. This was my spectacles. Because I use this as an example, I have to put it there. So these were my spectacles, wujub. And this was my beard, wajib, the Hajj itself in Makkah. And this was my hand, and this was my hand. Okay, this one was my hand, and this one was my hand. So two prerequisites are there. One prerequisite, without it, there is no activation of the obligation. That is the cause. I'll give you one example where you can never be. So let's say you have, let's say one of the activation, one of things that activates the obligation is reaching the age of puberty. Okay, so here puberty, baligh. So baligh is before the wujub. Baligh is the cause. Reaching the age of adolescence is cause of obligation, cause of activation. So you don't have to make yourself baligh. And people make themselves baligh. In our days, the youngsters, they will put olive oil and put here and here to let their mustache grow, or sometimes put honey and some greasy stuff so that their beard and mustache grows, so they look baligh or something like that. Or no, they will. So nowadays, are there any hormone tablets which pumps your hormone quickly so that you can become wajib? Let's say hypothetically, if there are like these kind of hormones and tablets, is it wajib on me to take these tablets so that Hajj becomes wajib, and then I go for Hajj? So you said it, then Hajj becomes wajib. No, you don't have to. Because the wujub is not activated. If the wujub is activated, then you have to do whatever comes after it. But before its activation, you don't have to be able, you don't have to eat the pills of hormones to bring your puberty or age of adolescence. You don't have to do that, because that is before the obligation, before the activation. So today we are going to discuss about this age of adolescence, puberty, because this is what we said, that cause and effect, and an effect can never be the cause of its cause. This wujub is effect of reaching the age of puberty. So it cannot obligate upon you to go for Hajj, number one. It cannot obligate upon you to have some pills so that you reach the age of puberty. You have the ability, financial ability, but still you have not reached the age of puberty. So you don't have to reach the age of puberty, because age of puberty is one of the causes that makes the obligation befall upon you. Good. Let's go back to the ruling of Sayyid. So he says that, see, and remember, to understand this language of Sharia, remember it's the language, the conditional sentence. If you reach the age of adolescence and you have enough money, and if you have this, then comes the effect, then comes the wujub. Okay, before it's not wajib. So this ruling says, إذا وجب الخروج إلى الحج, if the Hajj becomes wajib, it becomes wajib upon you to go for Hajj. What does that mean? That means Hajj becomes activated. Then whatever comes after becomes wajib. وجب تحصيل مقدماته. Then it becomes obligatory to secure or to acquire or to have its prerequisites, preparation, and the travel means of traveling, all those kind of things, caravan, whatever means, whatever will take you to Mecca, okay, and make you do. You have to secure these things. It is obligation. Why? Because the Hajj has become obligation. So muqaddimat, prerequisite, which allows you to perform the obligation. وتهيئة, preparing, وسائله, the means for it. على وجه يتمكن من إدراكه في وقته, in a way that you are able to fulfill your obligation in its time. So that, what does that mean? He says, وَلَوْ تَعَدَّتَتِ الرِّفْقَةِ, let's say there are 2 caravans, 3 caravans, several caravans. وَوَثَقَ بِإِدْرَاكِ الْحَجِّ لَوْ خَرَجَ مَعَ أَيٍّ منها تخيّر. But so there are like 5, 6 caravans. You know that if you're going to go with any one of them, you are going to secure your Hajj. You're going to be there, perform the Hajj. Then you can choose any one of them. Even though, he says, it is better to choose the one which you are more confident that he will take you there. وإن كان الأولى أن يختار أوثقها أن يختار أوثقها أن يختار أوثقها إدراكا, where you are more trustworthy, you more rely, you are relying more, I mean you have more trust that that caravan is going to take you more strongly. Yeah, all of them they go, but one of them is so strongly he will take you there. So choose that one, is better. However, ولو وجد واحدة يثق بإدراك الحج معها لم يجوز له التأخير في الخروج. But you know, one of these 5, they are for sure going to bring you to Makkah. The others, you're not sure. Then you should not delay your going. You should go with them and not delay and not avoid going with them. You should take them, because you are not sure other caravans how strong, how they are, but you know that this is the only caravan which gives a surety of bringing you to Makkah. So fil khuruj, you cannot delay. One caravan is going before, another is going late. The one who is going before, you are sure that he will take you there in time and you will be able to fulfill your wajib. He says, don't delay. إلا مع الوثوق بحصول أخرى. Unless if there was, if you are sure that there is another caravan available and you are able to go with them and fulfill the Hajj with that caravan. But if you are not sure, then don't miss the caravan which you are sure about. وهكذا الحال في سائر خصوصيات الخروج. And this is the situation in all the criterias or all the means or specifics of going, such as going by road, going by air, going by sea, going by train, whatever. Okay, so can من طريق البر, by road, by air, الجو أو البحر أو نحو ذلك, like by train or by any means, by camel, whatever means. So if you know that if you go by air, you will not miss your Hajj, and if you go by sea, you will miss your Hajj, go by air. But if you know, if you go by air, you'll miss your Hajj, and you'll go by sea, you'll not miss your Hajj, go by sea, go by sea. So choose whatever will secure your Hajj. The whole idea is Hajj has become wajib upon you. See, it's obligation, and then muqaddimat is after. So you have to make sure that you arrive in Makkah on time. إذا حصلت الاستطاعة وجب المبادرة إلى أداء الحج. If the ability and capacity is acquired, then it becomes obligatory to go immediately to perform the Hajj. Remember this instantaneous we spoke about. في عام حصولها, in the year in which you acquired your ability. So you got, now you have to go this year. فتأخر في الخروج للوثوق بإدراكها مع التأخير. Remember, there was a caravan going first Dhul Hajj, there was a caravan going third Dhul Hajj. So he said, I'm going to go with third Dhul Hajj because that caravan is going to take me, is going to secure my arrival in Makkah. So, but however, it did not happen. فتأخر في الخروج. He got delayed للوثوق بإدراكه مع التأخير, because he was sure that he's going to go with the caravan of third Dhul Hajj and he will arrive in Makkah. He delayed. However, it appeared that he was not able to. The caravan cancelled. They did not have enough registration. They did not have enough visa. They were not granted visa, whatever. So now the caravan, first caravan left. Second caravan, which he was going to go with, he was sure that he would go with them. They will secure his Hajj, but some accidental problem happens. ولكن اتفق أنه لم يدركه بسبب ذلك كان معذورا في تأخيره, because it was not in his hand, it was out of his hand, so he's excused, and the Hajj will not be stuck on him, most apparently, you see. So say this says to me, no, Hajj, khalas, Hajj will be fall. So next year we will see if there is ability, again we will start the chain of prerequisites and the obligation. But he says, وَهَكَذَا الْحَالِ. Some scholars, they said, no, the Hajj will stay wajib. Next year he will try to go there. Say this, he says, no, it was not his. It appeared that he did not make his calculations that the second caravan will miss, will close down and whatever. So he would have gone with the first caravan. This is no problem. The Hajj will not be fixed on his shoulder. It will not be, the obligation will not be fixed. Al-Adhar, most apparently. That means some scholars, when say this is al-Adhar, that means apparent from the evidences, is that this is the ruling. The others, they chose the ruling which is less apparent from the evidences. What I have chose, it is more apparent from the evidences, because evidence, dalil has zahir and batin. So what does it appear from the dalil? This appears. Some scholars say no. This, to me, most apparent is this one. So that is على الأظهر. وهكذا الحال في سائر موارد حصول الحج and إدراك الحج. And the same is applied in all the other means of Hajj, acquiring the means of Hajj, if inability happens to perform the Hajj due to accidental causes, unpredicted causes, external, beyond the control of a person, then the Hajj will not be obligatory. The Hajj remains obligatory on who intentionally, deliberately does not go and perform the Hajj, and Hajj becomes obligated upon him in the same year. So let's take the first ruling, and inshallah we'll continue tomorrow. So these are the conditions of obligation of Hajj. Remember the prerequisites of wujub, like here. This is wujub. This, remember this line. So this one. If these are not there, Hajj is not wajib. So the first one is bulugh, reaching the age of puberty. فلا يجب الحج على غير البالغ وإن كان مراهقا. If Hajj is not obligatory on someone who have not reached the age of adolescence. So Hajj is not obligatory on someone who has not reached the age of adolescence. Even if he was aware and attentive and his mind was mature, yes, but he has not reached the age of puberty. A girl reaches the age of puberty once she completes her 9th year and she enters the 10th. That means when she's 10. And a boy reaches, either he completes his 15th, that means he's entering his 16th, or lunar years, the girl and the boy, or the discharge of the seminal fluid, or the hair growing on the pubic area. Anyhow, so فلا يجب وإن كان مراهقا, so he's mature, but like he's 14 years old or 14 and a half, but still he has not reached the age of puberty. Okay. وَلَوْ حَجَّ الصَّبِيُّ لَمْ يُجْزِي عَنْ حَجَّةِ الْإِسْلَامِ. If a small boy performs the Hajj, it will not be sufficient for him to perform Hajj of Islam. وَإِنْ كَانَ حَجُّهُ صَحِيحًا عَلَى الْأَظْهَرِ. Even though his Hajj will be correct most apparently. Most apparently. Okay. لم يجزي عن حجة الإسلام وإن كان حجه صحيحا على الأظهر. So Hajj is correct. He followed, it was like Mr. Sheldon. He followed the rules step by step of Sayyid Sistani DZ. But he's a boy. He has not reached the age of puberty. The Hajj is not wajib upon him. So it will not be considered as obligatory Hajj. So once he reaches the age of puberty, the Hajj will become obligatory upon him. إذا خرج الصبي إلى الحج. We'll end with this ruling. If the boy goes for Hajj, okay, so فبلغ قبل أن يحرم من الميقات وكان مستطيعا. Obviously he was able, capacity, financial, everything, but the only point was this: he was not baligh. So they have not arrived the miqat. Let's say he gets this awe, you see, epiphany or Tiffany or whatever these you see, and they're on their way for Hajj. And suddenly he gets this awe of Hajj, and whoopsie daisy, he becomes baligh. So now what will happen? Okay, قبل أن يحرم من الميقات. Okay, so obviously he has not reached the miqat, so he become baligh. Okay, whatever reasons made him baligh, that was haiba, or of that Hajj, or the kind of spiritual, hyperbolic spiritual status he got, or whatever. Whoops, he woke up, oh, I got baligh, alhamdulillah. So yeah, so he will go do the ghusl and then go to the ihram and make his talbiyah labbayk. أن يحرم وكان مستطيع ولو من موضعه. Even if he became baligh and he was able to, his capacity was there. فلا إشكال في أن حجه حجة الإسلام. There is no doubt that his Hajj will be the first Hajj, the first obligatory Hajj. وإذا أحرم, let's say, no, he's still non-baligh. He came to the miqat, he's going to do the Hajj, but his Hajj is not going to be sufficient for the obligatory Hajj once in lifetime. So once he did the ghusl of ihram, that's mustahab, and he's ready, he said, I am performing ihram, and he got this awe, okay, and this kind of thing. Once he said labbaik, he became baligh, or he realized that he became baligh, or somehow. So now, does he have to repeat his ihram and labbaik? Because once he said labbaik, he got into this spiritual state, and whoopsie daisy, shaitan came to him and he became baligh. So wakana mustati'an. So he says, fala ishkal, there's no doubt. And even وإذا أحرم وإذا أحرم فبعد إحرامه وإذا أحرم فبلغ بعد إحرامه, and he entered the state of ihram and he became baligh after his ihram. قبل الوقوف بالمزدلفة. See, Muzdalifah is very important in the school of Ahl al-Bayt. So before Muzdalifah, he became baligh. Part, like his umrah, he was not baligh. Now, he is in before Muzdalifah. So let's say he said labbaik, and he did his intention, and while they are going to Muzdalifah, he was sitting in the bus, and whoopsie daisy, he realized he became baligh. Okay, so no problem. You can complete your Hajj, and most strongly, his Hajj will be considered Hajjat al-Islam, the obligatory Hajj. We will stop here and continue ruling number 5 tomorrow from the Manasik al-Hajj of Sayyid S Sisatni DZ. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. If you have any